Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emma and I'm so excited to guide you through this flow today. This is going to be a fun one. We're going to do a nice different arm balance that was requested in one of my previous classes. I don't often teach this pose, so it's going to be a little bit different for me as well. Let's go ahead and get started on our backs today with the bottoms of the feet touching and knees wide. You can place your hands on your belly, your thighs, or just sprawl your arms off of your mat. Wiggle your shoulder blades underneath you until they're flat, and then empty your lungs completely. Take a nice full breath in, maybe the first biggest breath of the day. And exhale, sigh it out. Any thoughts, stuff clouding your mind, to-do lists or tasks, anything you've been holding on to maybe for the day or the week, can you let all of that go? Do it again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. Feel safe, supported by the mat. One more big inhale. Exhale. And then seal your lips. Keep your breath nice and big, but instead of just trying to inhale as quickly as possible, think about slowly sipping air in, like you're breathing through a straw. Continue breathing out through your nose, but again, you're not pushing all the breath out at once. It's a slow, controlled exhale through your nose. Again, big breath in through your nose, slow. Slowly out through your nose. Stretch your arms up overhead, extend your legs. Hug your knees into your chest, and then you can circle out your knees a little bit here. Take your knees wide. Let your shoulder blades feel heavy, and then take your knees the other direction. Hug your knees into your chest. Keep your right leg in, left leg long. Left foot flex, spread your toes. Right knee towards right armpit. Keep your left shoulder blade on the mat, little tuck of your chin. Can you even scoop your tailbone forward towards your left heel and glue your low back to the mat? Extend your right leg straight up. Clasp your hands behind your hamstring. Flex both feet, spread your toes. Right hip pushing forward. Almost feel your outer right hip go towards your inner left ankle. Pull your belly button down. Slide your hands up, calf or ankle. Lift your head and shoulders up. Now squeeze your right quadricep. You're pulling the leg like it's going up and over your head. Now keep the leg where it is, just extend your arms forward. Keep pulling that leg back, use your belly. Lift your left foot, 1 foot off the ground. So I don't know what that is in meters, but you can look up at the screen to see. Stretch your arms forward for 3. You should feel some shaking in your abdomen 2. And 1, lower head, shoulders down, cross right leg over left, figure 4. So you're gonna have to pull your legs a little bit in towards you. Flex both feet. And then let's go ahead and try to take this left arm outside of the right thigh. So left arm outside the right thigh. Bring your right hand behind your head. So the right tricep and right elbow is kind of helping you prop up. Try to get your left shoulder blade off the floor. Keep your legs in figure 4. And your left arm is just trying to slide down your right thigh. So left arm reaching, left shoulder blade lifting, lower body trying to keep it still for 3, 2, 1. Release head, shoulders down. Slide right leg over left leg and take it for a twist. Knees over to the left, look to the right. Take a big breath in. Exhale, sink your right shoulder. 1 more. Unwind onto your back, uncross your legs. Hug both knees into your chest. Keep your left leg in, extend your right leg long. Flex your right foot, pull the left knee down towards your left armpit. Shoulder blades heavy, little tuck of your chin. Think entire spine long and on the mat. Extend your left leg straight up, clasp your hands behind your hamstring. Flex both feet. If you're arching your back a little bit, just try to minimize that by pulling your belly button down. Lengthen the sides of your waist. Slide your hands up to your calf or ankle, lift your head and shoulders. You can point your right toes now, and you're squeezing your left quadricep so that now when you release your arms, that left leg doesn't move forward. Keep pulling it back. Maybe even float your right foot off the mat. Peel the bottom of your shoulder blades off the mat for 3, 2, 1. Lower head, shoulders down. Cross left leg over right leg like figure 4. Flex your feet, pull your legs towards you. We're gonna hook our right elbow outside the left thigh, left hand behind your head. So you're using your left tricep and left elbow to help support your body, and then you're reaching your right arm kind of towards the front of the mat. Keep your figure 4 shape so that right knee is still pulling in towards you. Can you lift your right shoulder blade off the mat for 3, 2, 1. Lower head, shoulders down. Slide right leg over left, or left leg over right leg, pardon me. Drop your knees to the right, look to the left. Draw a big breath all the way in. As you exhale, sink your left shoulder more. Unwind onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest. Grab the back of your legs. Rock up and down your spine 3 or 4 times. And then when you're ready, grab a tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Tuck your toes. On your inhale, arch your back, pull your sternum forward, look up. As you exhale, press down with the tops of your feet, round your back. So you have to untuck your toes, push your palms through the mat. Again, tuck your toes, arch your back, stretch the bottoms of your feet. Exhale, tops of the feet down, round your spine. Again, inhale, arch, toes tuck. Exhale, round, tops of the feet down. One more, inhale, arch, toes tuck. Exhale, round, tops of the feet down. And can you keep pushing down, lift your knees up. So the knees are floating. Imagine squeezing a block between your knees. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees down. Walk your hands forward, puppy pose. Forehead down, hips high. Roll some weight to the tops of the big toes. So the inner top of the foot, instead of the pinky toe side, that part's easy. It's easy to have the toes flopping in towards each other. Try to keep the toes pointing back, pushing your thigh bones back. Maybe you bring your chin to the mat, melt your sternum down for 3, 2, 1. Slide forward onto your belly, hands underneath your shoulders. Keep pressing down with the tops of your feet. On your inhale, lift your chest and your hands. Baby cobra pose. Plug your shoulders back. Roll some weight to the inner thighs instead of the outer thighs. And then roll yourself right back down. Hands on the mat. Roll up cobra pose with a big bend in your elbows. Try to shrug the shoulders away from your ears. And then lower yourself back down. Slide your hands back a tad and roll up cobra pose with a little bend in your elbows. Make sure your toes aren't flopping in, they're pointing back. Look over your right shoulder and your left shoulder. Come back through center. Keep your knees where they are, child's pose, forehead down. Take a big breath in. Big breath out, slow and controlled. Shift forward, tabletop. Extend your right leg back behind you. Point your toes, but drop your outer hip. Take an inhale. Exhale, crunch, right knee to nose. Extend your right leg back, inhale. Place your toes on the mat, and then hug your left knee into your chest, squeeze. Lower your left shin down, lift your right leg up, inhale. Crunch, knee, nose. Right leg back, inhale. Toes down, left knee into chest, squeeze. Lower left shin down, lift your right leg up. Crunch, knee, nose. Right leg back, toes down, left knee to chest and hold. Hug your left heel towards your butt. Dome your upper back for 3, 2, 1. Lower your left shin down, spin your shin behind you, and open up to the right in a modified side plank. Spin your right foot flat, extend your right arm with the palm down, or ideally the pinky edge down. Feel a stretch in the entire right side body. You're welcome to stay here or lift your right leg up, bend your knee, grab your foot from the outside and kick back. So if you were facing a mirror, you wouldn't be able to see your foot behind you. You're only kicking back, not up, like full moon pose. Release your right foot. Keep your right arm lifted. Can you roll back onto your shins and dive your right arm all the way through without using your right hand, using your core to stabilize? We're in thread the needle pose. Right arm reaching through, left arm reaching forward. Option to take that left arm up and back for a half wrap. Bump your hips slightly to the right, tone your belly, 3, 2, and 1. Left hand on the mat, reach your right arm up, inhale. Exhale, tabletop. Left leg going back, toes point, but outer hip drop, inhale. Exhale, crunch, knee, nose. Left leg back, toes down, hug your right knee into your chest. Lower your right shin, lift your left leg up, knee, nose. Left leg back, toes down, right knee to chest. Lower right knee down, lift left leg up. Last time, crunch, knee, nose. Left leg back, toes down, right knee to chest and hold. Increase the space between the mat and your chest. 3, 2, 1. Lower your right shin down, spin it behind you, and open up to the left in a modified side plank. Extend your left arm up and over with the palm down or pinky down, feeling a stretch through the entire left side. Stay there, or left leg lift, bend your knee, and you're kicking back. So your spine is pushing in behind your heart, your hips pushing forward. And release the grip on the foot. See if you can keep your left arm lifted, just brace your core as you roll back onto your shins and dive your left arm all the way through for thread the needle pose. Right hand can walk forward or half wrap. Think about your shins pushing down through the mat. One more breath, even in and even out. Right hand beside your face, push down and unwind. Tabletop position, right back to downward facing dog. Once you get to down dog, you can find some movement, pedal your legs, or take your hips side to side. Kind of just depends what you're feeling. If it's the start of your day, you might be feeling a little bit tense and tight, be really gentle. If it's an afternoon or evening practice for you, you might have a little bit more space, and your heels might even touch the mat. If that's the case, try to lift your toes. You don't want to see your heels, so you want to make sure you're bumping your heels out just a centimeter or 2. Take your feet nice and wide, mat width. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet.
Bend your knees a bit when you get there and clasp your hands behind your head. Think about hugging the elbows towards each other, kind of like you're wearing a helmet, and then sway gently side to side. This just helps to release a little extra in the upper back, cervical spine, and around your neck. Now, keep your hands clasped. Just take the opposite thumb on top. Put a little bend in your knees. Take your elbows wide like you would if you were doing crunches on your back. On your inhale, lift up halfway. You want to use your glutes, your hamstrings, and your back muscles. Your spine should be flat. Exhale, fold forward. Again, lift up halfway, flat spine. Exhale, fold forward. One more time, lift up halfway. Elbows wide, exhale, fold. Keep your hands behind your head, push into your feet. This time rise all the way up to stand, flat spine, and crunch over to the right. Spread your elbows out away from each other. Inhale back up and over to the left. Push your hips slightly right. Come back up through center. Hands to the low back or bind your hands behind your back. Lean back as you push your hips forward, lift your sternum. Bend your knees and fold inwards. Shake your head out no and yes a few times. And release your hands to the mat. Wiggle your feet in so they're about the width of your hips. Walk yourself all the way forward to plank pose. Adjust your hands and feet as needed. Shift your weight forward and lower halfway chaturanga, maybe dropping the knees on this first one. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Pin your shoulders back away from your ears. Then tuck your toes and push yourself back. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Lift your heels, look forward. Step with your right foot forward, left foot forward so you're at the front of your mat. Lift up halfway and fold forward. Inhale, rise, reach your arms all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart and down by your side. Samastitihi, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach your arms up, look towards your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward, empty. Lift up halfway, gaze forward. Hands flat, right foot, then left foot, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over your toes, downward facing dog. Feel, hear your breath. Feel length through the entire side of your body, from your pinky fingers all the way up to your outer hips. Lift your heels, look forward, step left foot, then right foot to the front. Lift up halfway, fold forward. Rise, reach, and look up. Hands to your heart and by your side. Reach your arms up, lengthen your waistline, pull your belly button back, fold forward. Halfway lift. Hands down, left foot, right foot, step back, chaturanga to the bottom of your breath. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Squeeze your legs, push your thighs back, tone your belly and pull your ribs in. Feel a little pull of your sternum forward. Lengthen your arms as you push your inner palms down. Lift your heels, look forward, step or jump to the front of your mat. Lift up halfway, fold forward. Inhale, rise, reach up. Bring your hands to your heart and down by your side. Inhale, stretch both arms up, lean back. Be careful you're not arching your back, flaring your ribs out. So you're pulling your waistline in, pushing your hips a little bit forward. Exhale, fold. Lift up halfway. Plant your hands, step or jump back. Vinyasa to downward facing dog. Hollow out your armpits. Wrap your outer armpits around. Feel more length through the sides. Imagine someone's lifting you up from your outer hips. Take one more breath. Lift your heels, look forward, step or jump to the front. Lift up halfway, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach your arms up. Bring your hands through heart center, interlace your fingers and push your palms down. Scoop your arms up so the palms face up. Again, you're not arching your back, you're pulling your ribs down. If you have to put your arms a little bit in front of your face, that's okay. We really don't want to be arching the back here. Roll some weight to the inner arches of your feet and then lean over to your right. Use your right hip to push your left hip left. Come back up through center and lean to your left. Use your left hip to push your right hip to the right. Inhale, come up. Cactus, bend your arms. Make two fists and draw your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach up. Bend your knees, deep sit, Utkatasana, chair pose. Feet together or hip width if you need to modify. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Separate your feet about the width of your hips. Grab your big toes and on your inhale, lengthen your spine. On your exhale, Padangusthasana, fold inwards. Roll some weight to the big toes. Keep a bend in your knees if you need. Focus on the spine, lengthening on the inhales, folding more on the exhales for 3, 2, 1. Release that, lift up halfway. Plant your hands in front of you, Bakasana, knees to your armpits. Grab the mat with your finger pads and look forward. Maybe one or both feet will lift up off the mat. Try to get your feet together, tone your belly. When you're ready, you can step or jump your feet back. You can hold plank or crow pose for 3, 2, 1. Step or jump back. Vinyasa to downward facing dog. Adjust your hands and feet as needed, then lift your right leg up behind you. Bend your right knee, stack your hips. Draw some big circles with that right knee. Square your hips, inhale. Step your right foot forward. Softly, drop your back knee and send both arms up. Think about your left shin pushing down through the mat and forward. Your right heel pushing down through the mat and dragging back. Cactus, bend your arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Push your spine in behind your heart. Take an inhale. Exhale, half splits, hands on the mat. Think of a little twist to the right, like you're folding over your right leg. Spread your toes, push the ball of your foot forward. 3, 2. Bend your right knee, plant your left hand close to your right foot. Tuck your left toes and pop your left knee off the mat. Extend your right arm forward with the palm down. Try to turn your chest to the right and maybe look up under your right tricep towards the ceiling. Feel your right hip crease sink down and back as you extend through your right pinky finger. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, and like you're taking a big backstroke, reach your right arm back towards the back of your mat. Sweep your right fingertips outside of your right foot, then bump yourself forward into a half moon pose. Your right hand goes forward, you open up to the left. So it's kind of a big movement. We've done it in a few of my classes before. It's one of my favorites. It feels really nice once you've done it a few times. Your right hand can always go on a block. Try to push the ball of your right foot down, flex your left foot. Take a big inhale. Slowly start to bend into your right knee. Take a step back to warrior two. Make sure you adjust your feet if you need to. It's better to adjust the feet here than once you get into the poses. So take a moment, flip your right palm, reverse warrior. And exhale, side angle. Keep your legs strong and sturdy. So you're still keeping some weight in your back foot, your left foot. Grip less with your right toes and push your right knee out to the right. Now straighten your legs, reverse triangle. Reach your right arm up. Try to lift your right rib cage away from your hip. Windmill your hands to the floor. Step your right foot back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. You could always do cobra instead. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up behind you, bend your knees, stack your hips. Take some big hip circles with that left leg. Inhale, exhale, soft step forward. Drop your back knee and send both arms up, Anjaneyasana. Think about your feet once again pushing through the floor. Right foot pushing down, left foot pushing back, trying to drag your inner thighs towards each other. Cactus, bend your arms. You don't want to dump into the low back, so feel a lift through your sternum. Take a big inhale. Exhale, half splits. Hands on the mat, little twist to the left, like you're trying to fold over your left leg. Take the rounding out of your back, sternum forward, 3. Spread your toes, 2. 1, runner's lunge, left knee bend, right hand close to the foot. Pop your right knee off the mat. Try not to swing this left hip to the left or up. Keep the left hip in line with the left knee as you extend your left arm forward. Push down with your right hand to twist your torso. Look up towards the ceiling. Push the back of your right knee up. Reach your left arm towards the ceiling. Behind you. Sweep your left fingers outside of your left foot, then bump it forward. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Great time for a block if you've got one. Your hips are open to the right. Gaze down easier, gaze up harder. Pull your belly button back. Take an inhale. Start to bend deep into your left knee and take a long step back, warrior 2. Adjust your feet. Flip your left palm, reverse warrior. Side angle, bring your elbow to your thigh. Avoid dumping forward. That's why I like to use elbow to thigh. A lot of times people try to go hand to mat and they end up dumping forward. Better to just pause here or use a block. Straighten your legs, reverse triangle. Lift your left rib cage away from your hip. Windmill your hands to the floor. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale. We'll move through the sequence with the pace of our breath. Now, since we're balancing, we really want to make sure we're doing this slowly with a lot of care and intention. So your goal is not to breathe nice and quickly, it's to actually lengthen the breath, and then the movement will follow that pace. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Drop your back knee, reach both arms up, low lunge. When you do half splits, can you sweep your arms back? Flex your right toes. Bend your right knee, left hand on the mat, right arm reach forward, up, back, outside the right foot, then bump forward into half moon pose. So you take a big circle with that right arm. Big inhale here. Exhale, step back, warrior two. Reverse. Side angle. Reverse triangle, straight legs. Windmill your hands to the mat and step back, chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up, inhale. Step your left foot forward. Drop your back knee, low lunge. Half splits, can you sweep your arms back? Left knee bend, right hand down. Start by reaching your left arm forward. Big circle up, back, outside the left foot, half moon pose. Big inhale. Exhale, take a long step back, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Side angle. Reverse triangle. Vinyasa. One more time, right side and left side. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, step. Back knee down, both arms up. Half splits, arms back. Right knee bend, right arm reach forward, up, back, outside the foot, half moon, inhale. Long step back, exhale. Reverse. Side angle. Reverse triangle. And vinyasa. Left leg last time, inhale. Exhale. Back knee down, low lunge. Half splits, take your arms back. Left knee bend, left arm reach forward, up, back, outside the foot, half moon, big inhale. Long step back, warrior two. Reverse. Side angle. Reverse triangle. Vinyasa. Let's meet in a child's pose. Regain control of your breathing. Practice regulating your breath. You have the ability to calm yourself down by learning how to breathe. You can activate your parasympathetic nervous system. Create that calm feeling, that bliss we often feel in Savasana. That's why we practice breath control. Come forward to tabletop. Extend your right leg back. Bend your knees, stamp your heel to the ceiling, and cactus bend your left arm. Take your left hand, reach back for your right foot, and kick a little bit to the right. Try to plug your right shoulder back. You can grip with your right finger pads for 3, 2, 1. Slow release and switch. Left leg going back, bend your knees, stack it. Cactus bend your right arm. Take your right hand, reach back inside grip, kick left, left shoulder plug back. 3, 2, 1, release. Slow, tabletop to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and exhale. Lift your right leg up. Step your right foot forward. Warrior 1, reach both arms up. Think about your left foot dragging the mat clockwise. Bind your hands behind your back, right thumb on top. Inhale, sternum lift. Exhale, humble. Sink your hips, bend your right knee more. Your body wants to find the path of least resistance, where it's easiest, because your body is smart, wants to conserve its energy. But here we're trying to exert more. We're trying to get into this shape. Sink your hips, 3, 2, 1. Press yourself back up. Right toes turn in, left toes turn out. Warrior 2, face the back of your mat. Straighten your legs immediately. Reverse triangle, left arm reach up. Now you might need to shorten up your stance for triangle pose. Reach with your left arm first and then go down. So it's like your left hip is pushing your right hip towards the front of your mat. I like to grab onto the shin. You can also use a block inside your foot or grab your big toe. Try not to dump forward. Think one long arm. You also don't want your right arm flopping back. So reach it directly up so your hand is over your shoulder. Reach your right arm out in front of you and then sweep it overhead. Try to go palm down or pinky down. And you'll feel more on the outside of your right hip, your entire right side body. 3, 2, right hand to your waist, little bend left knee, hop it up, half moon pose or full moon pose. If you're ready for full moon pose, right knee bend, reach back, outside grip on your foot. You're kicking back instead of up. Push the ball of your left foot down and squeeze your left quadriceps. That's going to help protect your knee. Feel your outer left hip go back. 3, 2, 1. Release the foot if you've got it. Take a long step back, warrior 2. Skandasana at the front of your mat. Deep bend right knee. Left toes flex. You want to get your right heel on the mat, so if you need to, you can use your hands and just lift your hips up a bit. Squeeze your left quadriceps. Your toes point up or almost back. Right heel sinking. Take the rounding out of your back. Sternum lift. 3, 2, and 1. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide leg forward fold. Point all 10 toes towards the long edge of your mat. Walk your hands back, chaturanga arms. Imagine trying to slide the mat away from you with your hands. Your feet are trying to drag it back. Lift your shoulder blades away from your ears. Lengthen your waist to exhale for 3, 2, 1. Halfway lift. Walk around towards the front of your mat and drop your back knee. Reach both arms up, Anjaneyasana. Grab your left wrist and lean over to your right. Feel a little twist to the right as you plug your right hip back. Feel this length on the left side. Come back up through center. Use that length and prayer twist to the right. Try to wiggle your left armpit towards your right knee. Push your right palm down into your left palm. Stay there or tuck your back toes and lift your left knee. Keep thinking right hip crease down and back. Left hip lifting as you power up your left leg. Stay there or open up your arms. 3, 2, 1. Hands on the mat, pyramid pose. Straighter legs, Lengthen your waist, lengthen your spine, and then fold. You gotta feel your right hip crease pull back to even it out. Left hand, mat or block, revolve triangle. You can start with your right hand on your waist. As you turn your chest to the right, reach your right arm up. Last step, look up towards your right thumb. Keep pulling your right hip crease back. Think tailbone back, crown of the head forward, long spine. 3, 2, 1. Right hand down, step your feet together, forward fold at the front of your mat. Lift up halfway, fold forward. Turn your feet 45 degrees to the left. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, with your hands at heart center. Take an inhale. Prayer twist to the right. So you're twisting towards the front of the mat. Again, try to wiggle your left armpit towards your right knee. Push your right palm down into your left palm. Stay here or place your hands on the mat. As you do that, you'll probably have to lift your heels up. Now, we're going to try side crow first. Option 1 is to use your right elbow as a shelf. This is the incorrect way to do the pose, but it can be a good stepping stone. Option 2, you're still going to hug that right elbow in, but the only point of contact is really your right thigh and your left tricep. So you're leaning yourself forward and release, gripping with your finger pads. Now, for fallen angel pose, we really do want to get this right hip to the right elbow. You're going to bring your face pretty close to the mat, almost touching. So now you're in this kind of incorrect side crow pose. Start to extend your left leg directly up and try to point your right toes up as well. Come back to side crow and take a seat. So I'll try to demonstrate in a way where you can see a little bit better. I don't practice this pose often. I honestly don't really like it, but yeah, that's all I have to say about it. But if you do like it, here's a little quick tutorial. So what I mean by using this right elbow as a crutch in side crow is that my right elbow is going to be on my right hip. My left elbow, or the left tricep, is supporting the front of the right thigh. So I'm kind of have this whole shelf. And I don't really want to do that in side crow. I want to keep hugging my right elbow in, but have one point of contact. But when I do fallen angel pose, and I don't really want to go over the ledge, but when I do fallen angel pose, I do need to use this as a shelf. So I can rest here. I'm going to turn my gaze to the left, maybe even bring the side of my face down. From there, it's my left leg that wants to point directly up, and then my right toes want to point up as well. Ooh. Whew. Let's do pigeon pose on the right side when you're ready, when you've had enough. Now, like I said, this is not my favorite pose. I don't practice this pose very much at all, so there might be some better way to get into the pose as well. This is probably not the only way to get into it. There could be teachers who explain it a little bit differently, and honestly, probably better than I do, so you're always welcome to look those up as well. I do have a tutorial on my page for a lot of poses, most of the common ones, and we even do some arm balances like side crow and crow, but nothing that funky. Slowly start to walk your hands back towards you. Roll to your right hip, keep your left leg long. Bottom of the right foot at the inner left thigh. We're gonna take a side body stretch. Reach your left hand for your left foot. Try to dive your shoulder on or inside your left leg. Stretch your right arm up and over. Keep sinking your right hip.
So this is like a modified version of what we usually do with both legs extended. It's a little bit more comfortable with this right knee bent. Come back up. Plant your right hand. Turn your left toes towards the long edge of your mat. Stargazer pose. Kind of like a modified fallen triangle because your right knee is down. Left hand on the mat. Step back, chaturanga. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up behind you and step your left foot forward. Warrior one, reach both arms up. Bind your hands behind your back with the left thumb on top. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dive, humble. Keep sinking your hips. Swing your hips a little bit to the right. Squeeze your right leg. Don't forget about it. Grip less with your toes. We'll be here for 3. 2. 1. Breath. Pull yourself back up. Left toes in, right toes out. Warrior 2, face the back of your mat. Immediately straighten your legs. Reverse triangle. And triangle pose. You might like to shorten your stance. Reach, then go down. Use your right hip to push your left hip towards the front of your mat. Think one long arm. Squeeze your legs. Pull your bottom ribs in. Extend your left arm out in front, so it's like directly in front of your face. Then extended Utthita with the palm facing down. You feel more length through the entire left side. Really push the outer edge of your left foot down for 3. 2. 1, left hand to your waist, little bend right knee, hop it up, half moon or full moon pose. The ball of the right foot pushing down. For full moon, left knee bend, reach back, grab your foot, kick back. Try to feel your outer right thigh, outer right hip going back. 3. 2. 1 more breath. Release grip, long step back. Warrior 2 to Skandasana at the front of the mat. Left knee bend, right toes flex. Again, you can use your hands. Try to take the rounding out of your back. Do your best to get your left heel on the mat. Use your left hip to bump your right hip a little bit to the right. And then tip yourself forward, wide leg forward fold. Feel free to grab your feet or ankles this time. If you want to do a headstand or a handstand, that would be a good opportunity. Roll some weight forward, squeeze your legs, feel your kneecaps lift. Shoulders away from the ears. Can you feel your neck, your entire spine lengthen? 3. 2. 1, lift up halfway. Walk towards the front of your mat and drop your back knee. Send both arms up, inhale. Grab your right wrist and lean to your left. Come back up, use that length to prayer twist to the left. Left palm push down into right palm. Maybe tuck your back toes and lift your right knee. Try to even out your hips, so left hip sinking, right hip lifting. Stay there or open up your arms. Keep pushing your left knee out to the left. 3. 2. 1, hands down, pyramid pose. Get a little relief on that left leg. Push the ball of your foot down as you pull your hip back. Right hand, mat or block. Left arm can reach up or hand to the waist. Parivrita Trikonasana. Keep pulling your left hip crease back. Your tailbone's going back, crown of the head's going forward.
So you're twisting, but you're not rounding your spine. Nice long spine for 3. 2. 1, look down, hands down, step your feet together, fold forward. Lift up halfway, and forward fold. Turn your toes 45 degrees to the right, bend deep into your knees, hands at heart center for Utkatasana. Inhale, and then exhale, take a twist over to the left. Hook your right elbow outside your left thigh again. Push your left palm down into your right palm. You want to get your right armpit really close to your left knee. Now you can stay here, or we'll break down those 2 arm balances again. Side crow, so your fingertips are pointing towards the mat. Might be easier to see what I mean from this side. So to use this elbow as a crutch, my left elbow, I'll let my left hip rest there. So I'm using the outside of my left thigh as a shelf. Tipping my weight forward. It's a lot easier. For regular side crow, I'm not using my left elbow as a crutch, but I'm still hugging it in and bending it, leaning my weight forward. So that's side crow, Parshva-Bakasana. I have a whole tutorial on that pose if you're interested. For fallen angel pose, I want to use my left hip as a crutch. I'm going to tip my weight forward. And now I like to bring my face to the mat to feel more stability. My top leg, my right leg, is going to go directly up towards the ceiling. And I'm also going to try to point my left toes up towards the ceiling. Now, I don't make this pose look super pretty. There's lots of people who can make it look a lot better, but yeah, that's not me. This pose doesn't look very good when I do it, and I'm totally okay saying that. So it might not look like, why would I even want to learn that? It's very challenging. Other people can make it look a little bit prettier. And I'm also, you can play around with it. I don't quite know how people can extend even more, but they are definitely out there, and I'm sure there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube. I am not one who's going to make this look very Instagram perfect for you. So yeah, that's all I'll say about that. When you're ready, let's do pigeon pose on the left side. I was teaching a class yesterday. It was an all levels class, but it's at a studio where I get some beginners. I always have beginners there, which is awesome. But we were doing, not this, we were not doing this. We were doing side crow, and even that, it's really challenging when you've never really done yoga before. So these poses can be very intimidating. It's not so much about getting the pose, although it is really fun to have a goal. I know it's super cliche, but it really is about the journey to the pose. Like finding out you're stronger than you think, finding out how to manipulate and move your body, and finding out that regular practice does really help make progress. Start to walk your hands back towards you, open to the right. Your right leg is straight, bottom of the left foot, inner right thigh. Reach right hand for right foot, side bend. Keep your left sitting bone on the mat, palm down or pinky down for 3, 2, 1, lift yourself up, left hand outside left hip, turn your right toes to point towards the long edge of your mat like a modified fallen triangle. Left knee is on the mat. 3, 2, and 1, right hand down, step back, final vinyasa. Heels up, look forward, step or jump to the front. And lie all the way down onto your back. Your feet are flat on the mat. Arms are by your side. We'll do 2 back bends. Scoop your tailbone towards the front of your mat and send your hips up. Sometimes it's nice to add something between your knees like a block so you can feel that squeezing sensation. Think about your feet pushing through the mat and a little bit forward. Try to send your knees even forward. And then as you do that, you feel your chest push towards the back of your mat, making some length on the front of your body. 3. 2. 1, lower your hips down and take a breath. You can do bridge pose again, bridge with a bind, or if you're ready, set up for upward bow with your hands beside your head. Press your feet into the mat, lift your hips, and then maybe lift your head and your chest up off the floor. Push your chest towards the space behind you. Make sure your toes point forward. And don't forget to breathe. Chin tuck, slow lower onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest. Rock gently side to side. Grab the back of your legs, rock yourself up to a seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. You can almost grab your butt and move it back so your sitting bones feel heavy. Your feet are flexed, reach your arms up, and fold forward. Bend your knees so your belly meets your thighs. Sternum forward, shoulders back. Use your exhales to find a little bit more depth. Walk your hands back towards you. This time lie onto your back. Take your legs up, waterfall or shoulder stand. You can always do shoulder stand with a block as well. Now my mic is a little bit in the way for this pose. So if you'd like, you can take your legs overhead for plow pose and or ear pressure pose. Otherwise, just stay where you are in waterfall or shoulder stand. When you feel ready, slowly start to roll yourself down. Let's go bottoms of the feet to touch, knees wide. There should be a little arch in your low back, so that's a good counter pose. Heart, chest, belly open. Close your knees like a book. Take your right leg over your left leg. Drop your knees to the left and look to your right. Unwind onto your back, switch out your legs, left leg on top. Take your knees to the right and look to the left. Let your breath start to slow. Unwind onto your back, uncross your legs, hug your knees into your chest. Extend your legs long, let your toes flap out. Any adjustments you need. Full breath in and sigh. Savasana. Take a nice full breath in and exhale. Reawaken your body. Maybe a yawn. If you haven't had your coffee yet today, like I haven't, you maybe almost fell asleep there. Take a big stretch. Hug your knees in and roll to your right or left side. You'll use your body to make your way up to a comfortable seat. The peace and calm you feel at the end, that's thanks to, a few things, but breath control. So when we do that slow, deep breathing, we do controlled breathing throughout our practice, we're activating our parasympathetic nervous system. This helps to downregulate your body, decrease anxiety, cope, deal with stress instead of reacting. People call this the rest and digest response that's associated with the parasympathetic versus the fight or flight that is associated with the sympathetic. So you can think about it kind of as the opposite or the complement. They both make up the nervous system and they both play a vital part. At times, you do need your sympathetic nervous system in times of danger, stress, during a hard workout. It's good to have your heart rate elevated and cortisol being released, but not all the time. You don't want to live in that state. So we practice down regulation, and you can use these tools off of your mat as well. Bring your hands to your heart center, take a deep breath in, and exhale. Thank you for choosing to practice with me. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for practicing yoga with me. If you liked this, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and share this with your family, friends, whoever you think might enjoy my channel. That is the best way to help support me. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week.